Hello, parents. I apologize for not being able to meet you at the open house, but I do have some information here for you in this video that'll give you most of what you need. As always, though, if you need to contact me, please give me a call here at the school or send me an email, and I will definitely get back to you and answer any questions that you have. Here's a little cartoon that you might enjoy, directly relating to our class. And we talk a lot about how people can use statistics in the way that they want to use them. They can twist them, contort them, to say what they want to say. So we talk about the students being aware, and taking this course will help them be aware so they won't get the wool pulled over their eyes. Yes, another important reason, another good reason that they're taking this course for them is how important statistics is becoming. It is really influencing many different facets in our society. Government, education, business, sports, politics, the health field, and many other fields are using data, using statistics to help make decisions. I want students to appreciate this, appreciate how important it is, collecting data, analyzing it, and inferring. Also, many colleges, many different majors are requiring statistics as it's a required course in their field of study, and that could even be non-mathematical students that need at least one math course. Often statistics is the one that is required. Some important points. The students will be assigned to read the textbook. This is not your typical math course. If you ask your son or daughter to look at their textbook, you'll see immediately it's not your typical math course. There are a ton of words, and there's a ton of graphs, a ton of pictures, and there's some math along the way, but it's very concept oriented. And they are going to be required to read and watch some videos, and they'll have to take a little bell ringer quiz the next day to make sure that they did read that night or did watch the video. This is an AP class, so they should, signing up for the course, they should know that they signed up for nightly homework. They'll have some days off here and there, but most often they will have homework. And we do have to go at a fairly fast pace to cover all of the AP curriculum. I do try to use real and timely data as much as possible. Data I get from the internet or the newspaper based on current event stories. And that's what I tell the students. It's more than a math course, and that's why I love teaching it. It's math, of course, but there's also some social studies because we deal with a lot of real life current events, get into some good discussions. It's also science because making hypotheses and collecting data to make our decisions is a scientific method. And there's even some English involved. They have to be able to write explanations of what they learned so the average person knows what they just discovered. Here's just one example of some of that real data that I was referring to. Let's see if we can get it to open. Oh, I believe it's in the next slide then. We'll just go to the next slide. There we go. So one day I collected data on how many minutes the students said that they read out of the textbook the previous night, and I compared that to their score on their little bell ringer quiz on that reading, and it related directly to what we were going over that day, which was correlation, regression, scatter plot, as you see. And it does show, in general, that the students that read more did perform better on their bell ringer quiz. Now, I grade, before I get to these final projects, I want to add that I grade their homework for completeness, meaning that I don't collect it and grade it for correctness. I make sure that they completed every question and gave it an honest effort. At least I hope they did. And they get 10 out of 10 for that. There are other activities that they get points for. Tests are about every week, week and a half, and those are worth 100 points. And I want to stress the homework part. I am definitely a believer in assigning homework and the student doing the homework. I learned so much, I know, in my own personal education outside of class. I learned a lot more outside of class than I did sitting in class. So I want the parents and the students to understand that fact, that spending the time at home exploring, even if they're struggling, to read the book a little more or check their notes, print off the PowerPoints that I give them on Edline. But that is where the invaluable learning really takes place. Now, the students have to do a final project in here. And over the years, we've had some great final projects. I'm going to show you just a few examples. But this is in place of the final exam. I did this about 10 years ago and never looked back. I think it's so worth it that the students take what they learned in class and use it out in the real world, as opposed to taking yet another test, because they're going to take plenty of tests in here as it is. So this is what we do instead of the final test, as we do a final project. And students have come up with some great ideas. Here's just a few of them. We had a pair of students tackle a controversial issue, teen abortion, and how physical appearance affects people's opinions on that. And what this young lady did is she found a pregnancy suit. She was not pregnant, but she found a pregnancy suit, and it looked very real. And they went downtown, and looking pregnant, she asked people, they randomly chose people, passers-by, how they felt about teen abortion. And they wanted to compare that, and they did it on another day where she went without the pregnancy outfit, just as herself. And obviously she didn't look pregnant one bit. And they wanted to compare the results they got. And it was interesting. They did find a significant difference. People were much more likely to disagree with abortion when she was pregnant. So it just goes to what we learned from that was the bias that we could introduce based on how we look when we're asking people questions. We had a couple of fellas here wanted to see how recess helped performance in school, the physical activity. So they went down to the elementary school, and they were given a few classrooms. They randomly assigned half of the students to go out and have a nice physical 25-minute recess, and the other half were assigned to go sit in a chair and watch a video. And all the students then took the same quiz after, and they wanted to see if the physical activity would make a significant difference. Well, we found out the students with the physical activity did a little better, but it wasn't statistically significantly better. And that's something that your son or daughter will learn about, what it means to be statistically significantly better. And just to keep it short here, I'll just mention one more. We had a couple of students compare fishing baits. Yes, they actually went out and went fishing as part of their stat project. You just can't beat that. But they did a very nice job, actually. They got 5 different types of bait, between worm, between some of those colorful type of lures and different things. Grubs. I'm not a fisherman, so I can't exactly remember. But they made they collected all their data. They fished multiple different days collecting their data. And they did what we call a chi-square test, which is a test which will take a look at a table of data and help you decide whether there's a significant difference in the results. And they did a nice job and had fun while doing it. So your son or daughter will be doing this in May. We probably won't get to it till they know enough, which is in May. And it'll be a nice way to cap off the course. Thanks for watching. And again, if I didn't cover anything you needed to know, please just give me a call or write me an email, and I'll definitely get back to you. Good night.